All right, what is going on? Welcome to this next episode on the Sales YouTube channel. Appreciate all of the love, the support, the subscribers. Anyone that hasn't done that stuff, feel free to. We are, as you probably know from the title, going to be going through an appointment setting masterclass today. I'm going to be joined by a very, very good friend of mine. We're going to go at a very high level to really basically cover anything that you would need to know to get into sales as an appointment setter, or if you're already an appointment setter, how to optimize that to basically get you to 5+ K per month as quickly as possible, and really the mindset and everything that you would need to have coming into that role. Because I think a lot of people undervalue how important an appointment setter is, how valuable of a skill set it is, and there isn't just this quick little stepping stone that you want to just kind of tap on and then move straight into closing. There's so much benefit from being in the appointment setting stage, especially if you're on an offer that has some strong closes that you can emulate and learn through osmosis. So we're going to jump into all of those things right there. Enjoy the video. All right, what's going on? Before we dive into probably one of the best fucking setting trainings you will ever lay your eyes on, I wanted to do a little bit of a handoff first, just so it's not weird and it's like, hey, who's this random guy on my YouTube? So this is Jalen. We've been acquainted for how long now? A year and a bit?
Yeah, a year and a half almost
Okay.
by now.
Okay, cool. So let's just do like a little bit of like how we met and then just go through maybe your experience in the sales space, what that journey has looked like, how we've kind of, gone down like similar pathways, how we're both in sales.io now. Just a little bit of like an introductory to like who the fuck you are and why people should listen to you.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, great to be here, guys. My name is Jalen. I've been in the space now. Well, I've been selling technically for the past 3.5 years, but I started off in-person sales. I loved it at first, made a lot of money, but then figured out that what I was selling was complete bullshit, complete lie. So fucking left that. Then that's when I kind of got introduced to the whole online space. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I want to go make money from anywhere in the world. So, what I did was kind of a unique approach. I actually went and sold telemarketing services at some shit shack for 6 months because I really wanted to master cold calling. I was like, you know what? I see all these fucking Instagrams about cold calling. Everyone talks about it. Let me just master that first and then get into remote sales. So,
Dude,
went, did that.
I'm going to interject just because
Okay.
I need to. That is the exact mentality in my belief, dude. You're fucking one of the like most driven individuals that I've ever like worked with. That type of mentality is the exact reason why. Like I want to come in and do something that most people don't even want to do because it's uncomfortable and it's shit and I don't want to do it and it's rejection and it's blah 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 and I want to come in and I want to master it. There's like two or three guys who I won't name drop on here, but like who have worked for me in the past as like cold callers that just went dog mode. And of course, they've gone on there doing fucking amazing right now. Like they're crushing it. And
Hmm.
that's such an important thing that I really want to just quickly like throw a little, my little thing on because it's like you kind of glossed over it. It's so important, dude. Like be willing to do the things that are not the pinnacle and the holy like, oh, this is the best fucking job role on earth. Eat shit for a bit. The future version of you will thank you for doing that. So
Exactly. And like, Scott, I love the way you broke that down too, because it's like a lot of us just kind of go for what seems nice. It's like, oh my gosh, the lady in the red dress. I'm gonna go after her, right? It's like I'm gonna go close as soon as I get into remote sales space. But for me, it was like, fuck that. I know that once if you build a solid enough foundation, no matter what, you're gonna fucking be fine. Like you're gonna be good as long as you build that solid foundation, man. So that's all I wanted to do, bro. So I completely agree with you there, man. It sucked. I will be honest. It fucking sucked. It was. I was working with people who just hated their jobs. No one was positive in there. Like it sucked. But I showed up every day, fucking button up shirt, tucked in khakis. I was ready to go every single day. And then eventually I was like, you know what, man? Like I feel like I know this very well to now go into the space. And that's around the time I met you, Scott, actually, bro. That's when I bought Iman's course, Educate.
there we go.
Um,
That's always
fucking
the way.
that's always the way, bro. I know hella people are gonna be able to relate to me on that. But yeah, I fucking jumped in there. I saw you, saw JJ, I saw all you guys just absolutely ripping it with, coaching calls and stuff. And I was like, dude, I love these guys. I love their mentality. And then I took what I learned in there and then I applied for my first SDR role with Ashton Hall, who all you guys might know, fucking dumps his face in the bucket of water and stuff like that. Um, and I was actually his first employee come to find out, which was crazy because it's got like 5 million followers when I first hopped in. And then his offer was shit. I asked JJ, shot him a DM to come help out, and he did, ironically. Then that's how I got introduced to Scott because JJ and me were on a Zoom one day. Fucking Scott popped in, and then we just started doing some sales training. And then, I mean, bro, like after that, me and Scott's been boys since. I mean,
The rest
fucking
was history, man.
yeah. And
Yeah,
then
dude.
now to this point, I've managed Ashton Hall's offer. I've managed Ross and Ben Nia's setting team. I was Daniel Isles' top SDR at Viral Coach. Like the first month I hopped in there, I was already doing six figures, rev generated with my sets. And fuck, man, now I'm here.
Hell yeah. Okay, beautiful. Is there anything, because I know obviously you've gone through and very amazingly fucking recorded a special video for us to go through on here. Is there anything you want to give in terms of like pre-context leading into that?
Yeah. So the pre-contest I want to give is that like in the video, I give a lot of value, but I want to highlight again. I actually do highlight this in the video, but I want to highlight it one more time because I think it's super fucking important that none of the training I'm going to give you guys is going to mean anything unless you fully and actually grasp the mindset behind it. And I go over the mindset of what a setter is supposed to, how you're supposed to think, how you're supposed to operate. But like truly, if you don't understand that mindset and you don't embody it, then all this training I'm going to give you after that's not going to make any sense. It's not even going to be worth it. So, guys, like when you get in there, really take your time to go through the mindset part. It's not very long, but it's very powerful. So that's what I would say.
Hell yeah. And we talk about this all the time. It's like it's always like those internal little roadblocks that will really stop you from elevating and getting the best performance. So amazing. The only thing I want to say before we crack into this fucking banger here is go, I will put it in the description and everything. Go to Jalen's Instagram. He will be also popping off on YouTube very soon, but best place, go to the Instagram. He's already posting on there, and then you'll get the story posts and everything like that on the YouTube side because I've managed a lot of teams. I know at a very high level how to make sure that setters are studs. This guy is on a different fucking level. So like rather than me do the set of training, I'm gonna bring in the dude who is living and breathing this shit. And everyone that's ever been coached on the setting side fucking loves the advice and the value that you're able to give. So appreciate you being on the channel and everything, dude. Thank you so much for taking the time and fucking making this banger, bro.
Thank you, Scott. I love you, man. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
So, guys, welcome to the $0 to $5,000 setter blueprint. This is exactly what I would tell myself just getting into setting, how to go from $0 to $5,000. And I'm going to do the same thing for you guys here. Now, I am going to give you guys a lot of information, but I'm going to make it as digestible as possible. So, we're going to go through step by step the blueprint, the roadmap that I would take to hitting my first $5,000 per month. Now, how I want to start this is I'm not going to give you guys all these tactics, these skills that you may think you need to hit $5,000, but in reality, it's not at all what you guys need. Where I'm going to start off with is, you see it here, mindset. Mindset is arguably the most important part to being a successful setter, a successful sales rep, a successful individual in general. And I really want to preach this because it's so true. And without this, all of the tactics I'm going to give you guys after this, they wouldn't even matter. And I know you guys just heard me and Scott's intro there. Truthfully, mindset is 80% of the game. The skills and tactics are the 20%. So let's get into why mindset is so important. So let's start off with the first point. Here you can see I wrote down, you are not a calendar filler, you are the gatekeeper to transformation. A lot of people have this stigma that as a appointment setter, your whole job is to fill the closer's calendar and that's it. But I'll be the first one to tell you that with this mindset right here, you will never hit this number here because you're already starting off at such a low frequency. By keeping the gatekeeper to transformation mindset and by embodying that, you have such a more positive frequency. You have such, an urgency. You have such an authority on these calls because you know the power you hold as the appointment setter. So again, as a setter, you have so much responsibility because if you look at yourself and you think that you are just the calendar filler, and if you do it enough times, you'll eventually become a closer, you're just going to have such a low frequency. You're going to have such a low vibration to you that people aren't even going to want to speak with you. They're not even going to see you as an authority because you're going to be quick to set them. You're going to be quick to jump over questions, and you're not going to truly look deep into this person's current reality to see if they are worthy enough to get the transformation they are looking for. And once you embody this, guys, once you embody this mindset, you just speak with more authority, you speak with more urgency, and you speak like you know what you're doing, and you just have this vibration where people come to you, they gravitate towards you, and that's the perfect place to be as an appointment setter. So again, guys, just this is the most fundamental part of setting. You are not just filling up the closer's calendar. You are the person who is allowing these prospects to enter into their new business reality, their new body, physically, mentally, whatever it is. You are the person who controls that. And so that leads me perfectly into my next point with the mindset that you now have to become mastery focused, not financially and money driven. Because when you start having just the money on top of your mind, just getting that commission on top of your mind, again, you're not going to have that authority. You're not going to have that frequency that you need to have on these calls to allow these people to change. It all starts with you. It doesn't start on the closing call. It starts with you. So again, we are mastery focused. We are not money driven. So I want to show you guys on both sides of the spectrum, someone who is setting just for money and someone who is setting to become a master at persuasion, at communication, and at sales in general. I wanted to break down the two differences between somebody who's money driven and somebody who's mastery focused. A lot of setters fall under this category because they think that only setting is filling up the calendar and hoping someone closes. I get it. I've been there. Now, the reason why this is such a bad mindset to have is you're only chasing outcome. Again, you'll only be chasing outcome while you're on the call. You may think you're asking good questions. You may think you're leading this person down a powerful pathway, but in reality, they feel that you are only chasing that dollar. You're only chasing the money that comes out of their pocket. So this person's already starting off at the wrong place with the pipeline. And that's going to bleed into the closing call. And that's where objections come from. That's where bad prospects come from. It's not with their mindset, it's with your mindset. And again, another point is you speak with a low frequency. People feel this frequency. This world is built around frequency. That's why all of you guys know someone who's really good, really successful, just really disciplined. They have a very high frequency and you want to be like them. You're attracted to them. If you're only money driven, you're going to have a very low frequency to you. You might as well just go freaking sell drugs if you're just going to be money driven. Or if you guys actually want to make the money you want to make with sales, you have to be mastery focused. That comes with speaking with a higher frequency, a higher authority, and you attract the money when you're mastery focused because now you're disconnected from it. You're disconnected from the outcome, but you are connected to changing this person's life and having that responsibility of being the gatekeeper who does that, who allows that transformation. So again, guys, you do not want to be money driven. You want to be mastery focused. So how do you become mastery focused? How do you have this higher frequency to attract this money, to attract these prospects that you guys are all looking for? Repetition. Repetition. Repetition is how you become mastery focused, and that's how you earn the payday. That's how you earn this $5,000 here. It's the day in and day out mock calls. It's the day in and day out fast feedback loops from your coaches, from your peers, from your mentors. You're constantly looking through your calls, reviewing your calls, seeing where you could have been better, seeing where you could have served this person better. You are constantly adding and doing the reps to get better. And that inevitably, and the byproduct of that is getting these paydays that you guys want. So I will be the first one to tell you, if you're not okay with doing hundreds of mock calls, if you're not okay with getting your calls reviewed and getting absolutely roasted by guys like Scott, by people like me, if you're not okay with going the extra mile and doing the boring work, most would say, then I'll be the first one to tell you, you might as well stop watching here and go into a different industry because you will never see the money you want to make and you will never get the prospects on the call who you want to have just because you're not going to have that vibration that you need to be able to attract those things into your life. So as you can see, I wrote down here $5,000 per month does not come from magic. It does not come from just putting up people on the calendar and praying they close. It comes from mastering the mundane actions, the boring actions that you know you need to do, but you're just not doing them. This is where the money comes from. It comes from doing those boring tasks every day, day in and day out, until you finally are at the right vibration. You're finally at the right skill level to attract those things. And you will know when you get there. Trust me, you will, just because of how you feel, how prospects speak to you, how people in the real world speak to you. They just know that you are the person who has that key to what they're looking for. All right. How to go on a bit of a rant there. That mindset shit is my bread and butter, and that's what truly changed my trajectory. And that's what's gotten me to this point today. Being able to be the guy in front of this camera telling you how to make this first $5,000 because I was able to make it. I was able to make that change, and I've seen it firsthand. So I had to go on that rant there. Now let's go into how to have a proper setting call and what this looks like. These are the skills and these are the tactics that you guys can now implement, knowing and embodying that mindset that we just went over. So the way I'm going to break down the proper setting call is with I like to call the 5 beats of a proper call. So let's get into these 5 beats. We'll start at the top, the first beat, which is obviously the intro of the call. The intro of the call is arguably one of the most important parts of the entire setting process, because you have about 7 seconds to build trust with this person enough to keep them on the call. Because after 7 seconds, if you don't sound like an authoritative figure, if they don't trust you, if they don't think you are the person who can help them, then they're going to hang up. That's where you guys get all of your no's from. That's where you guys get all the fuck offs from. That's where you guys get all the hang ups from, is because within the first 7 seconds, you haven't established yourself as the person that has that power to change this person's life. And they have to feel that through the phone, through the DM, through whatever. So how do you build enough trust in the first 7 seconds to keep this person on the phone? And it all starts with your tonality. Now, what do I mean by your tonality? I mean, you have to sound confident. I know all of you guys have probably heard of Jordan Belfort before. He has that saying, sharp as a tack, enthusiastic as hell, and an expert in their field. So if you sound confident, now I'm not talking about like overly confident where you sound a little bit like a dickhead, but confident enough to where you sound like you know what you're doing and you sound like you need to be there, you should be there, then they're going to have that trust in you. They're going to be like, oh shit, this guy's different. This guy's not like the last telemarketer who called me, who was like, hey John, I just I'm calling you to see if we can help you out with this. This is a cold call. Absolutely not. You need to answer these calls with a figure, with an authority that you're supposed to be there. Hey, is this John? Yeah, hey John, this is Jalen calling with XYZ company. You recently filled out our form to receive help with X. Does that ring a bell? Awesome, man. So I'm just blah 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 blah. We'll get into all that later. But that's the tonality you need to have. Did you guys see that switch there? I didn't even need to be on a call. I didn't even need to be talking to anybody. I can do it in my sleep now just because I've done this shit so many times. I've put in the reps so many times to have that tonality just built into me now. Pacing. Pacing is one of the most important things too, because you can sound confident, but if you're confident while reading a script, they'll hear that too. They'll hear that through the phone all day. You want to know why? Because you sound like a robot. You sound like a robot. So, John, how's it going, man? I'm just giving you a quick ring here to see if we can help you out with XYZ. Is that cool? Absolutely not. They hear that shit through the phone. You have to have the confident tonality and you have to be able to pace yourself throughout that intro to sound like you know what you're doing. Now, you're probably like, okay, cool, Jalen. So, what's next? Is that all I need to do to build trust? Absolutely not. By the way, guys, I'm probably spelling some of this shit wrong. My handwriting is not the best I know. English class was not my forte, but I'm giving you guys what I got. The next point of the intro that you need to embody is you need to embody mirroring this person's energy. And this comes from, you guessed it, having that frequency. So when I'm on the beginning of my call and I can tell this guy is maybe more practical, he's maybe slower tone or slower paced, he has a much, quieter tonality, then I'm going to match that. So let's say I answer and this guy's like, hey, what's going on, Jalen? Yeah, man, all good. How are you, brother? Then I'm going to mirror that. Oh, man, I'm doing amazing, John. I appreciate you answering the phone today, man. I'm only going to need about 5 minutes of your time here. I just want to see if we can help you out. Is that cool with you, brother? Awesome. So I use the same language. I mirrored his energy. I mirrored his frequency to make him feel like it's almost like he's talking to his friend, like he's talking to his buddy, somebody who's known him forever. And guys, this is a skill you can practice, yes, but truthfully, if you're not the person who you need to become, you'll never be able to properly mirror somebody because it's almost going to be unauthentic. So the next point you have to be able to do at that beginning of the call is mirror this person's energy. So if they're higher energy, if they're a person like me who's like, "What's going on, man? How's it going?" Then match that. "Oh my gosh, John, how's it going, brother? Great to hear from you, man. I only need about 5 minutes of your time. Is that cool with you?" Awesome, man. I mirrored that. I can literally just go up and down, guys. I can go up and down because I figured out who I need to become. That's what you need to do next. Let's get into the last point. The last point to being able to maximize the trust built within that first 7 seconds is having a pattern interrupt. People have been getting cold called and gotten called by random people like us for years now. People have been doing this since 09, 05, 2000, since forever, right? So you have to be different, but different in a clean way, different in a new way, in an enthusiastic way. So what is a pattern interrupt, Jalen? You're probably asking me. A pattern interrupt can be something as simple as this. And this is something that I actually do on my calls to this day. "Hey, is this John?" That's simple. That's simple. Now, did you guys notice what I did there? I acted more curious. I lowered my tone and I almost acted like I didn't really know what this person's. "Hey, is this John?" They're gonna be like, yeah. Who's this?" Then boom, "Hey John, this is Jalen calling with XYZ company, man. How are you?" Small as that, but it's so powerful because it keeps them intrigued. It keeps them in this mindset of like, who is this person? Like, who is Jalen? "Okay, Jalen, how's it going, man?" Instead of just doing the normal old, "Hey John, how's it going, man? Jalen here." They're gonna be like, "Oh, another telemarketer. Beep." You have to have a pattern interrupt. And a pattern interrupt can be as small as that beginning intro, just a curious tone. "Hey, is this John?" Now that you guys know these three major points to being able to build trust in that first 7 seconds, what does it sound like put together? Ring ring. "Hey, is this John?" "Hey John, this is Jalen with XYZ company, man. How are you?" "Calling from where?" "Yeah, man, you recently filled out our form to receive help with XYZ. Does that ring a bell?" "Okay, awesome, man. So cool. John, I only need about 5 minutes of your time here, brother. I'm just giving you a quick ring to see if we can help you out with XYZ solution. Is that cool with you?" Boom. Within 7 seconds, I have a confident tone. I am mirroring their energy, and I have now installed a pattern interrupt. I've hit all 3 points within that first 7 seconds. After you've built that trust within that first 7 seconds, what happens next and how do you properly go about this? Then you need to set a frame. You've probably heard Scott talk about this. You guys have probably heard this word frame tossed around the entire industry, but this is why it's so important, especially on setting calls. So the first one being it establishes you authority. It gives you control of the call like you are supposed to be there. That is the goal. If you can establish yourself as the authoritative figure on the call, it don't matter if I'm talking to damn Bill Gates, Joe Rogan, Ty Lopez, does not matter. I am going to establish myself as the authority on that call, and it starts with setting a proper frame. The next point is it establishes reason. It gives them and it gives the call a reason, so they're not going in blind. They're not going in with a weird, questionable mindset. They're going in with the mindset of, okay, I know the reason of this call. Let's hear what he has to say. What makes haunted houses so scary? What makes haunted houses so scary is the idea that you don't know what's going to happen. So you have this big guard up of like, oh shit, when's a clown gonna come out of the door? When's a dude with the chainsaw gonna come out? Because you don't know what's gonna happen. The same effect happens on these calls. They don't know why you're calling, so give them a reason. Giving a solid frame amplifies the trust. The more trust you guys can build on these calls, the more they're gonna open up to you and the more they're going to look to you as that authoritative figure. It becomes a parent-child state. It becomes you as a parent, them as a child, and they trust everything you say. They look up to you as that authoritative figure that you need to be on this call. So again, guys, frame gives you and solidifies that trust because not only do they know why you're calling, but they know that you are the person who's going to help them fix this problem and they trust in you to do so. So what does a good frame look like on setting calls? It can be something as simple as, Awesome, John. So I'm just going to keep you for about 5-10 minutes here, brother. I just want to see if we can help you out. And if it does make sense, I'm going to point you in the right direction. Is that cool with you? You let them know that you're just seeing if you guys can help them out. And if you can, you're going to point them in the right direction. Now, another good frame is awesome, John. So just let you know how this call typically goes, man. I am more of the if guy. So as the if guy, I'm going to see if we can help you out. Then if I do see it makes sense, I'm going to point you towards the how guy who can break down how we can help you out. Is that cool with you? Awesome. So I forgot to put down there, guys, that the beat number 2 was frame. And now the heartbeat number 3 of the call is the discovery. This is the heartbeat of the call. This is the bread and butter, the meat and the potatoes. This is where you'll be doing most of your magic. So what does that look like exactly? The first point is being active listener, first. This is the most crucial part about any good discovery is you always have to be the active listener first. You're not the person who talks the most. You're not the person who cuts them off. You are the person who asks questions and then actually listens to their response. Because guys, the gold is always what they say. The gold is never what you say. There's a saying in the industry that your word is shit, their word is gold. So the first thing you need to embody on any good discovery is active listening first. So you're probably asking me, Jalen, why are we going into these? Where is the word tracks? Where are the questions I need to be asking? Yes, I can give you guys that, but that won't do you shit. I want to give you guys what's actually going to move the sale forward. So next is curiosity driven. This is where your questions are going to come from, guys. These are the questions that you need to have, and they come from being genuinely curious in the prospect. If they say something to you that sounds alarming, for example, yeah, man, so my fitness has not been the greatest. I've been feeling very low, and I just don't know what to do. John, you said you've been feeling really low. Like, what do you mean by that? I'm curious in them. I'm curious. I want to know why he's low, why he's depressed, why his fitness hasn't been where he wants it to be. That's where my questions come from. That's where those good questions that move the sale forward, that builds that trust, that's where they come from, is being genuinely curious in the prospect. The good questions don't come from what you're thinking or what's on a piece of paper. They come from actually listening to the prospect and what they're saying and being curious in that. That's where those questions come from. Having a good conversation flow. Guys, having a good conversation does not come from reading questions off a script or from me giving you guys questions to ask on these calls. Having a good conversation comes from actually listening to the prospect, being very curious and asking those curiosity questions, and just flowing down the tether, flowing down the rabbit hole, having a normal conversation. People think about themselves 80% of their day. Every single day, they're thinking about themselves. What are they going to do later today? What's their biggest issues? What's going on at the house? What's going on with my dogs, etc. They're constantly thinking about themselves. So by having a good conversation, it comes from you asking them questions about their current situation and being genuinely curious. Then all it is having a good conversation after that. Now that you understand how to have a good discovery, what are the things you need to be looking for as you're flowing through the setting call to know if this person's a good lead or not, to know if they're committed or not? First things first, you need to know what's their pain. What is their pain? Are they depressed? Do they want to hit a certain goal by a certain period? Have they been stuck in this current situation that they hate for the last 6 years? What is that pain that they're going through? And why have they been going through that? Or why do they want to hit that goal? Or why haven't they made a change now? This is arguably one of the most important points to any discovery is identifying this, because not only is this going to be good information for the closer to then close them, but it's good information for you to be able to have that positive and encouraging conversation. And the only way you're going to get this is through the trust that's built through the intro. And the only way you're going to allow them to feel comfortable enough to give you that information is if they see you as the authoritative figure and if they feel the frequency from you. So this is the first thing you have to look for in any discovery is the pain and the why. The next thing you need to look for is urgency. Why do they want to do this now? Why do they need to fix this now? Why do they want to start working towards this goal now? What is that urgency that's built them up to this point to fill out the form and look out for help? Because guys, I'll tell you right now, yes, there's window shoppers, yes, there's bad leads, but every single person who fills out the form or every single person who enters the pipeline entered the pipeline for a reason. So you have to identify that reason. And last but not least, the thing you guys need to look for is a willingness to change. Because arguably, people always have a pain that they need to resolve. People always have urgency behind why they need to resolve this pain. But are they really at the point in their life where they have a willingness to change? Or are they okay with staying in this reality a little bit longer? Now, let's get into the beat number 4 of a proper setting discovery, which is book with confidence. A lot of setters fall into the trap of, awesome, man. So I definitely think we can help you out. Here's the calendar. Find a good time, book it in, and let me know when you book that time in. Wrong. You need to book with confidence. Now, how do you do that? You get a very solid and strong verbal commitment. These people have to commit. Now that you identified their pain, their urgency, and their willingness to change, you have them right where they need to be to get a verbal commitment that they are going to show up on the call that's going to set them free from their current reality. Now, what does a verbal commitment look like? Cool, John. So now that I know that we can definitely help you out here, brother, I guess what time today or latest tomorrow works for you to hop on with Scott, our right-hand guy who's going to take care of you? Did you guys see what I did there? What times today, latest tomorrow work for you? You don't want to be booking people out a week, 4 or 5 days in advance. That's way too much time for them to fall back in that comfort zone that they've been in for so long. You have to get them to verbally commit on when they can do it today, tomorrow, latest, and 2 days latest. Now you have to get another verbal commitment. Awesome, John. So I got you booked in here, brother, for tomorrow, 5 p.m. Now, besides the world ending, is there any reason that you can't show up to this call? Get them to verbally commit again. No, Jalen, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to show up this call. Awesome, man. So I got you in for tomorrow, 5 p.m. Is this a good email for you? Perfect. Is this a good phone number for you? Awesome. And now, last thing here, John, are you going to be able to show up behind a computer, behind a desktop, in somewhere that's a quiet area? You've now gotten 3 verbal commitments from this prospect that they are going to show up. Now, the final beat of the discovery, this one really isn't correlated to the discovery, but this one just solidifies the box and gets them bought in, is the proper follow-up sequence. Now, every offer is going to be different, I will say, so do as your offer owner says, because I don't want to get you guys fired. But for me, a proper follow-up has always been to be care first. Care for them through the follow-up. As soon as the call is booked, a couple hours later, shoot them a text. Hey, John, amazing call today, brother. I'm super excited to see how we can help you out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Then the next morning, when you wake up, hey, John, just to make sure, brother, are we still good to go for 5 p.m. today? Then the final follow-up. Hey, man, Scott's super stoked to talk to you. He's going to really be able to help you out. Are we still good to go? So the final beat is a good follow-up where you're care first. You're caring for them first. That comes from shooting them those 3 texts and making sure that they're still ready to go. So guys, entering the final module of this training, feedback loops plus skill growth. Now that you're the person who you need to become, and now that you know how to properly do a setting call, what should you be doing day in and day out to improve your skill, to get better, to hit that mastery level? Let's break that down. We'll start off with call reviews. Call reviews are arguably one of the fastest ways to improve. That's the quickest feedback loop, and you're getting help from someone who's already at the place you want to be. So guys, I would highly suggest after every call even that you have, find somebody who's better than you, who can review those calls with you and really give you those instant feedback loops that you can implement on the next call. This is the fastest way for growth. The next point is role plays. Role plays are one of my personal favorite training methods, and I do this constantly inside of Sales.io's community with some of the setters inside there. Hit as many role plays as you possibly can. I remember when I first started, I would do like 5, 6, 7, 8 role plays a day. Now, what's the last point for skill improvement? The last point is as simple as just asking for feedback. Just ask the people who are better than you for feedback. Hey, Scott, I'm really struggling with my intro right now. Can you help me out? Or, hey, Scott, I keep getting this objection on my calls. Can you help me out? If you can do all 3 of these points here, you will become a master in no time. Now, a quote that I stand by here is, winners love feedback, losers hate looking in the mirror. Because guys, if you want to become a master, you have to be ready to suck first to become great. Losers, they're going to keep trying over and over again, not ask for any help, keep their ego internal, and then just always fail and fail and fail and fail because they don't have anybody to guide them. So if you want to be a winner, ask for feedback. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations, because that's what's going to reap the most reward. You guys now have my A through Z on how to become a $5,000 plus setter inside the space. It really isn't that hard. It just starts internally. You right now looking at me after this call, take a self-reflection, do a discovery on yourself, and find those nicks and crannies that you need to work on to become the person with the higher frequency to be able to transform these people's lives. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. If you guys need any more help, pop me a DM on Instagram, Jalen Hoxie, no spaces, JalenHoxie, and I'll be glad to help you guys out.
Scott, just had an insane moment. As I was reviewing and editing the modules I created earlier, I realized, bro, that I wasn't who I needed to be in those videos. I was like, my mind was out of whack, and like some of the shit I was saying, I was like, man, this shit is not where it needs to be, especially with having the honor to be on your fucking channel. So, bro, I reshot my modules, but don't worry, man. I'm about to edit them, even if it takes me until like 1 a.m. I'm still gonna have this. Oh shit. I'm still gonna have this video to you, brother, by the time you wake up. I know it's like super late for you right now. You're probably asleep, but man, I just want to let you know I want this shit to be amazing, especially because you're giving me the opportunity to be on your channel and you're shouting me out and you're only giving me praise, bro. So I'm gonna still have it to you by tomorrow morning. By the time you wake up, you're gonna have it. I just wanted to make this as best as possible. So, bro, I reshot everything and I'm gonna re-edit everything. And this time it's fucking good, bro. So I'll have that over to you in a couple hours. If I'm done editing, probably by the time you wake up, you'll be good to go, man. So love you, brother. Thanks for inspiring me and changing my mental state.